active investigation is underway after an eagle that is believed to have been shot dies.
And property taxes are going up statewide, how it's impacting your bottom line and what it may have to do with your local school district. That and more right now at 10. Thank you for joining us tonight. The rain has moved in and it is windy out there in Madison.
Well, if you live a little further north, you could be in store for several inches of snow. Let's go right to Julian Seawright with our first warn forecast. Julian?
That's right. You could be in for some more snow. You could be in for more snow if you're further north than Dane County as of right now. But the good news is we are looking for a break in that rain, but it is still howling winds, if you can even hear it behind me. Now, taking a look at our radar, this is where the rain is as of right now, just north of Lone Rock and near Viroqua as of right now. But Dane County, Green Rock, and even parts of Iowa counties, we're looking at it to really start to clear up just a bit, but we are looking for a resurgence later into tonight. It's mainly going to be overnight. We're going to be looking at that rain to roll in for us, but that wind is really going to be sticking around and howling for us throughout the next few hours. Now, taking a look outside, it's still rather cloudy, and visibility has been an issue for our friends to the west. We have started to see a decrease in visibility for us here in Madison. We're now about 8, but for Platteville, they're about 1.25 miles as of right now as we get into throughout the rest of tonight. Looking ahead, temperatures are actually going to warm up about 1 degree, which is going to keep us from seeing any real kind of mixing later into tonight. But we are still going to hold on to rainfall, but we're not looking for any ice accumulations because of how warm the surface still is. Now, wind gusts are still howling 32 miles per hour at Madison with 29 miles per hour in Janesville and for Platteville. And we got to talk about the rest of the mixed bag, which is going to be starting later into our Wednesday in just a few moments, and how that could be impacting you. Until then, back to you guys.
Julian, thank you. To get to all your forecast information on the go, you can check out our Channel 3000 News 3 Now weather app. It is free and ready for download in your app store. We're also seeing some school closings come in. Be sure to check those out on News 3 Now this morning and also at channel3000.com. Next tonight, the DNR leading a criminal investigation into who allegedly shot a bald eagle. This was in Milwaukee County, and that animal did not make it through surgery yesterday.
That person could face a hefty fine and prison time. Arman Rahman explains the difficult process of rehabilitating the animal and what comes next.
Yeah, Eric and Charlotte, the Bald and Golden Eagle Protection Act declares buying and selling, owning, and wounding or killing the species illegal. This eagle was found wounded on a private property 15 miles southeast of Milwaukee, and the Wisconsin Humane Society took on the task of trying to get it back on its wings again. When thinking of a bald eagle, one word often comes to mind.
They're just magnificent creatures.
Restoring that magnificence was what the Wisconsin Humane Society in Milwaukee strived to do for an eagle allegedly shot last week.
Despite everyone's best efforts at saving this bald eagle, he succumbed to his injuries.
On Wednesday, the DNR dropped off the adult male eagle after finding it unable to fly in the city of Franklin.
That the humerus bone in his wing was completely broken, and in addition, the tip of his beak was broken.
Feeding, changing bandages, and other care required 2 to 3 handlers to wrestle with the 5 to 7 foot wingspan. They also had to work to protect their birds in case the wild animal had avian flu.
Every single treatment, our team has had to gown up head to toe in full PPE and able to safely treat this bird.
Vets successfully stabilized the fractured bone in the first surgery, but today the eagle didn't make it through the second to secure the bone.
That surgery also was to treat that wound as well and do a wound cleaning. And unfortunately, it was during that surgery that the patient went into cardiac arrest.
Several active eagle nests have been spotted in Milwaukee County, marking a recovery there. It's not known if this eagle was part of a nesting pair.
The eagle's carcass will be entered as evidence in a federal crime lab.
Now the DNR is taking the case from conservation to criminal investigation.
Wounding or killing a bald eagle or golden eagle can result in a fine of $100,000 and a year in prison for a first offense. It's really seemed to strike a chord in a lot of people in the community.
And if you have any tips related to the eagle or who might be responsible, the DNR asks you to call, text, or send an online report to its violation hotline. We'll have that info on our website, channel3000.com.
More local news. The former owner of the Wanakee Veterinary Clinic is being charged with 6 counts of intentionally mistreating animals. Court records show Dr. Wesley Arnett is accused of kicking and hitting animals in his care several times. His LinkedIn page says he owned the clinic since 2007, but a Facebook post from the Wanakee Veterinary Clinic says the hospital is under new ownership. A trial date has been set for the pastoral associate from DeForest accused of having inappropriate sexual relationship with an underage teen. Court records show jury selection in the trial of 31-year-old Rajnal Remat will begin on February 27th, and the trial is set to begin the next day. During a hearing today, Remat pleaded not guilty to 1 count of child enticement and 1 count of sexual assault of a child by a person who works with children.
President Joe Biden today signing into law landmark new federal protections for same-sex and interracial marriage. He signed the Respect for Marriage Act before thousands of invited guests on the South Lawn at an event at the White House. The new law officially voids the Defense of Marriage Act, which defined marriage as between a man and a woman. The chairman of the House Select Committee investigating the January 6th Capitol attack says the committee will hold its final public meeting on Monday and that the panel's full report will come out December 21st. Representative Benny Thompson says the committee will approve the panel's final report on the 19th and then make announcements about criminal referrals to the Justice Department, but the public won't see that final report until 2 days later.
TikTok, the social media app that has more than 1 billion users, could face a total ban in the United States under a bill introduced by Wisconsin Congressman Mike Gallagher. He says it's mainly because of security concerns. He believes once a user's data gets into the hands of TikTok's Chinese-owned company, it's an open book for the Chinese government and sees it as a potential medium through which disinformation can be spread. New tonight, the Biden administration is finalizing plans to send the Patriot missile defense system to Ukraine. An announcement could come as soon as this week. The advanced long-range air defense system is highly effective at intercepting ballistic and cruise missiles. Ukraine has been calling for the U.S. to send the system as the country comes under a barrage of Russian missile and drone attacks.
Well, check this out. The NYPD says decades worth of evidence went up in flames today in New York City. That fire, which broke out about 10 this morning at the Erie Basin Auto Pound, and left a half-dozen first responders and 2 civilians hurt. It wasn't immediately clear what sparked the fire. The fire department says the investigation could take some time. And after being arrested yesterday in the Bahamas, the one-time king of crypto, Sam Bankman-Fried, is now facing 8 criminal charges in the U.S., including wire fraud and conspiracy, following the collapse of his company this fall. In addition, prosecutors allege the 30-year-old made tens of millions of dollars in illegal campaign contributions. Bankman-Fried made a court appearance in the Bahamas today. His lawyer says he's reviewing the charges and considering options. Extradition proceedings are underway. For the 11th year in a row, property taxes will increase in K-12 school districts all across the state.
McKenna Alexander joins us to break down why this is happening and what it means for homeowners.
Yeah, a recent report from the Wisconsin Policy Forum has found that homeowners can expect a modest increase in property taxes despite state-imposed limits. When homeowners get their bills this month, they'll see a bit higher of property tax bill, as preliminary figures from the Wisconsin Department of Revenue project an increase of about 1.5%. This increase is a multifaceted issue, according to the latest annual Wisconsin Policy Forum report. Senior WPF researcher Ari Brown says it's a combination of state lawmakers working to decrease the tax burden, namely through keeping per-pupil revenue limits in place while increasing state aid, but those efforts being offset by the sheer amount of referendas passed throughout the state.
There have been over 450 school district referenda that have passed in the last 5 years alone. Despite state lawmakers hoping to lower property taxes because so many referenda have passed, there was a slight increase to school district property tax levels.
Brown explains that the increasing number of referendas passed points to a trend of school districts successfully reaching voters, to the point homeowners are willing to increase their own property taxes to fulfill a district's need or want.
And I think that there's this interesting kind of mix between the state wanting to lower that burden for property taxpayers and then property taxpayers pretty unequivocally throughout the state saying, our school district needs a new building, or it needs to be able to pay its staff to keep up with inflation, or needs new equipment or anything like that.
However, even though property tax bills will increase, the property tax rate will actually decrease.
Just really across the board, every corner of the state, property value is rising very quickly. That has the effect of lowering property tax rates kind of unequivocally throughout the state. When you have value rising much faster than you have property tax rates rising, property tax levels rising, the rate is going to decline.
To see the full report, just visit wisconsinpolicyforum.org or our website at channel3000.com.
The annual Santa Fire Truck Parade taking place outside American Family Children's Hospital in Madison today. For the last 60 years, Santas and the UW Children's Hospital have been teaming up to bring holiday cheer. Santa is still doing virtual visits, but is happy to spread joy in person again.
Well, there's a house in Virginia that you just can't miss when you're driving by at night. That home is in Gretna, Virginia. It's covered in over 30,000 Christmas lights. In 2015, Mike Clay was inspired, of course, by National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation to go all out on decorating. Clay decorates the home completely by himself and adds more lights each year. His light bill, by the way, goes up about $100 a month, but he says it is all worth it. Well done, Clark. Well, still to come tonight, new signs that inflation continues to slow down.
Plus, a massive weather system moving through a big portion of the country. We'll have your updated forecast when we come back.
Ready, Dad?
All charged up.
This holiday season, Ford wants to help you shine bright with a special offer. Now choose from a great selection of new Ford vehicles in stock and ready for delivery. Or place a custom order on select Ford vehicles. Lock in your rate and you're protected.
I'm proud of you, kid.
And that's how Ford is helping you shine bright. Now get an F-150 with 2.9% financing for 60 months and $500 retail bonus cash plus $500 accessories cash.
To everyone who loves great food, let us make you a meal the Wisconsin way.
We cook each butter burger to order for you and the people you love, so it's the best part of your day.
The best.
The best.
And every creamy scoop of fresh frozen custard, pure happiness.
Pure happiness.
Pure happiness. Because where Culver's comes from.
And the heart of America's Dairyland.
Our love.
Our love for fresh food is as strong as our love for all of you.
From Wisconsin with love.
Welcome to Delicious.
Those brave men and women of our armed forces, generations of them. Why should today's burdens fall back onto them? They were there for us. Now let's be there for them. Your local Wisconsin energy providers and the Keep Wisconsin Warm Cool Fund are working together to deliver Wisconsin veterans in crisis heat, power, and help staying in their home. But they can't do it alone. Call to donate today.
Spectrum just launched Spectrum One, where Spectrum Internet, advanced Wi-Fi, and unlimited mobile come together to keep you seamlessly connected wherever you are!
Why did you switch? Because Spectrum Internet delivers the fastest download speeds in the nation.
And the advanced Wi-Fi has enhanced security and privacy features that automatically block online threats.
How reliable is Spectrum Mobile?
It's a super reliable service coast to coast.
Switch to Spectrum One and get internet for $49.99 a month, plus free advanced Wi-Fi and one free line of unlimited mobile. Call 1-833-861-4999.
Need last-minute gifts? Don't miss the Hy-Vee one-day gift card sale. One day only, Friday, December 16th. Get a free $10 Hy-Vee gift card for every $100 you spend on popular gift cards. You'll find gift cards to more than 140 different stores and restaurants. The perfect gift for everyone on your list. Why go to other stores? Get all your gift cards at Hy-Vee and get a free $10 Hy-Vee gift card for every $100 you spend on gift cards. Friday, December 16th, during the Hy-Vee one-day gift card sale.
On the Jennifer Hudson Show. Jazz up your holiday parties with these TikTok trends. Then Sam Worthington shares his Avatar adventures. Plus Kendrick Sampson. And Shalea sings for us.
On the next Jennifer Hudson Show at 3. You're watching News 3 Now at 10.
Welcome back. A new report shows inflation is slowing down, and that could be good news for holiday shoppers.
A new government report shows prices on most items we buy are still going up, but not quite as much as before. The Bureau of Labor Statistics says overall prices jumped 7.1% in November compared to last year. That is down from 7.7% in October and the June peak, which was way up at 9.1%.
I think that we're trending in the right direction. 5 consecutive months where we're seeing the pace of inflation decelerating.
Much of that deceleration is being fueled by falling gas prices, down more than 50 cents in the last month. That's according to AAA.
Nuclear fusion is a possible game changer for energy production, and now for the first time, scientists have achieved a net gain in energy. This morning, the Energy Department announced a breakthrough in the decades-long quest. Fusion is the energy that powers the sun and stars. It works by pressing hydrogen atoms into each other with such force that they make helium and release enormous amounts of energy and heat. Hawaii's Mauna Loa and Kilauea volcanoes on the Big Island have both now stopped erupting. Now, according to the U.S. Geological Survey, the latest data shows Kilauea stopped last Friday and Mauna Loa ended the day after on the 10th. Kilauea had been spewing lava since September of 2021, but was contained in a small lake inside its crater. The two volcanoes are 21 miles apart.
The Ford F-150 Lightning has been named Motor Trend's 2023 Truck of the Year. The F-150 Lightning was a unanimous winner among the Motor Trend's 7 judges. It is the second electric pickup in a row to win the award. The Rivian R1T won the award last year. Today's cars are safer than ever, but one group is pushing automakers to make them even safer. Jared Hill explains.
For 25 years, crash tests conducted by the Insurance Institute for Highway Safety focused on how well vehicles protect people in the front seat. Now those tests include passengers in the back.
We're measuring the likelihood of injury to that rear passenger that's now seated right behind the driver.
IIHS President David Harden says in this analysis, small SUVs hit a barrier at 40 miles per hour with an adult-sized dummy in the front and a dummy about the size of a 12-year-old in the back. All of the vehicles tested received high marks for preventing injuries to the driver, but when the rear passenger was factored in,
only 2 of the vehicles got a good rating, and 9 of the vehicles got a poor rating.
The Volvo XC40 and Ford Escape are the 2 that earned a good overall grade. Compare this crash to another vehicle that received a poor rating. The head turns violently before slamming into the seat. In another SUV, the head actually goes under the airbag and hits the door. Seat belts are a big reason why. In the front seat, vehicles have belts with a tension system that mitigates the force of the crash. The 9 SUVs rated poor did not have those same belts in the back seat.
Adding this kind of technology in the rear seat could certainly reduce the likelihood of you being severely injured or killed when riding in the rear of the vehicle.
Harkey says automakers are aware of the findings and some are already making changes to help keep everyone in the car safe. Jared Hill, CBS News, New York.
A swath of severe weather is sweeping across the middle of the country, kicking up tornadoes in the south and dumping snow up north. Part of that same system now here in Wisconsin. Video shows a large funnel cloud looming near Highway 380 in Decatur, Texas. More than a half dozen confirmed tornadoes touched down in Texas and Oklahoma today. As for the northern part of the system, that's bringing a lot of snow and rain. And here's Julian Seawright, who's been keeping an eye on this system.
Yeah, and this is one of those things where it just kind of matters where you are. For us, we've just seen rain, but areas north have already seen a bit of some freezing rain that's developed some ice. So let's go ahead and take a look at our radar. Even for right now, we're looking at a bit of a break in that rain pattern that we've seen over the last couple of hours, but some drizzle is still hanging into the southwestern side of Dane County. But as we take a look to the north, we are looking for a bit of some wintry mix still lingering, especially as we're looking at north of the Dells. But the rain itself is still looking to resurge by the time we get into the later parts of tonight. And as I mentioned, it really matters where you are. North of I-39, we have seen some ice developments just to the southeast of La Crosse and just west of the Dells. And that's why we've already been seeing some school closures for some areas as well because of the freezing rain and anticipating a bit of some ice that will develop overnight. But for us here in southern Wisconsin, we're going to be holding on to a bit of some warmer air. So the rain in itself is mainly not going to be freezing or accumulating ice for us here near the Dane County area or closer toward the Illinois state line. We're still going to be dealing with some rainfall, but we're not going to be seeing too much that's going to be hectic in frozen or icy for us by the time we get into our Wednesday morning. Overnights, we are looking for a bit of that resurgence of a collection of a band of rain that's going to be sweeping through southern Wisconsin, and by 7 o'clock hour, it's going to be looking to impact your morning commute as well. Some areas are going to be rather fine, but it's still going to be windy. That's going to be the other thing that's headlining this storm that's going to be moving throughout much of the area. Once we get into the lunchtime hour, we're looking for a bit of periodic rainfall, a few showers, but it's not going to be overly collective or widespread into the late morning around the noon hour. Once we get into our afternoon, we are looking, once again, a bit more of a breakup, nothing very collective until about 5 p.m. Once we get into the rest of our evening, we'll start to see it collect itself once again, and we'll look to impact our 5 p.m. commute. Then we'll start to see another burst of moisture starting to roll its way in throughout Wisconsin. And as we get into our Wednesday nights, that's when we'll start to see a bit of that transition rolling in for us. As temperatures start to fall, especially into the upper atmosphere and for the surface, we're going to be looking at snow starting to come into our overnight hours into the Wednesday morning. But then around 7 o'clock, it's going to be rather quiet. And then once we get into around the lunchtime hour, a bit more of some snow showers will start to flow its way as we have that anticyclonic flow start to roll into the rest of Wisconsin. It's rather going to be clockwise, so we'll start to see snow showers going into our Thursday afternoon and evening, and especially by the time we get into our Thursday nights, which could be bringing in some accumulation for us that could see 1 to 2 inches. Some areas could even see 3 to 4, but the rain is going to be the star of the show. We're looking for about an inch and a half throughout much of southern Wisconsin. Areas to the southwest may not see as much, but we are going to be looking at the snow really going to be a factor for areas north of the Dells, North Woods. Those areas could see close to a foot. We might see 2 to 4 inches at least fall in terms of snowfall, but not looking for it to be more than that in terms of accumulation. Some areas could even see just 1 to 3 when it's all said and done, potentially even trace amounts. Here's our 3 things we'll need to know. We are looking for possible sleet late tonight for some areas, but overall it's going to be rain that's going to be rolling through this evening and going into the overnight hours. And looking at our 10-day forecast, it's going to be messy for the next few days, and then it's just going to get cold. We're looking at temperatures to really drop as an Arctic air mass moves into the area, bringing us to the teens and our overnights into the single digits. It's going to be a cold one once we get past Hanukkah, but at least it's going to be a little bit of smooth sailing that could be bringing some white Christmas opportunities for us. Over to you.
We're just 2 weeks away from the first game in the Luke Fickell era of football. We're going to hear from the Badgers head coach ahead of the bowl game. That's next on News 3.
News 3 Now First Warn Weather is brought to you by Lazy Boy Home Furnishings and Decor.
Discover a shopping and design experience as comfortable as the furniture. Lazy Boy Home Furnishings and Decor. Schedule your free design consultation today.
We all share the same roads, but when an accident happens, we don't always share the same consequences. Gruber Law Offices has been fighting and winning for people injured by big trucks for more than 30 years. One call, that's all.
Ready, Dad?
All charged up.
This holiday season, Ford wants to help you shine bright with a special offer. Now choose from a great selection of new Ford vehicles in stock and ready for delivery. Or place a custom order on select Ford vehicles. Lock in your rate and you're protected.
I'm proud of you, kid.
And that's how Ford is helping you shine bright. This season, choose FlexBuy on a 2022 Ford Escape or Edge and get 0% APR financing for 66 months.
Everyone has something they can't afford to lose. And these days, nobody's looking to spend extra money. But the knowledge and experience of an independent insurance agent can help show how to affordably protect the things that are most important. And if those things are covered by a West Bend home and highway policy, you might someday discover for yourself how the worst brings out our best. West Bend, a silver lining for the important things.
Here's to the holidays. Here's to the casserole queens and Santas who saute. To the turkeys brined in beer, and well, just beer. To the ones who do the most, and the ones who do the least. To the classic traditions, and whatever you call this one. This year, no matter how you holiday, Festival has you covered. Festival Foods, a Wisconsin tradition since 1946.
Waiting. Sometimes it's just inevitable. But if you're over 50 or live with a chronic condition, waiting could be deadly because conditions like heart disease or diabetes raise your risk of serious illness or death from untreated COVID. And if you don't get treatment within days, you may not be able to get treatment. So, got COVID symptoms? Get tested and get treated right away. It can't wait.
Need life insurance? SelectQuote found Jacob, 40, a $500,000 policy for only $19 a month. And SelectQuote found his wife, Wendy, a $500,000 policy for only $17 a month.
Our secret? At SelectQuote, we aggressively comparison shop up to 10 highly rated companies to find you the company with the best rates. Why pay more? Give your family the security they need at a price you can afford. SelectQuote. We shop, you save.
The semi-truck was behind me. I saw the impact coming.
Jose was seriously injured when he was hit by a semi-truck.
Once you call them, that's all. Your goal is to help you.
Gruber Law Offices. One call, that's all.
Every time I needed something, they had an answer.
To use Luke Fickell's word, it's been a whirlwind since he was introduced as Wisconsin's head coach. Fickell has hit the ground running since taking over the program and has had a lot to balance. And with a handful of Badgers not playing because of transferring or declaring for the draft, the big question for Luke Fickell: how will UW handle the bowl game? His answer: the only way he knows how. Go out and win it.
I don't worry one bit about, well, can we be competitive or not? I mean, the whole objective is to win. It's not be competitive. Whether I'm just walking in the door, it'd be complete disrespect to every one of those kids sitting in those seats to think that they were brought here, but yet we don't think that they could put a competitive, even have a competitive advantage on a field with a really good football team.
It's been a long season for the Packers, and not just because they are 5-8. This team headed into their bye week pretty banged up, so the break came at the perfect time. Getting away from the field allowed several players to heal up, including Aaron Rodgers. Coming back from the bye, number 12 hopped on the Pat McAfee show, sharing his thumb and ribs are doing better, but now it's time to focus on the final month of the regular season.
We're now in the mid-December, and we have meaningful games coming up. It's great. Obviously, we need some help from some teams and have to win out. But, there's a lot that can change in a week. And if the momentum can start to go in our favor and we can stack a couple of these in a row, you never know what can happen. And that's exciting.
Romeo Doubs is also expecting to be out there for the Packers' Monday night game with the Rams. Doubs has been out with an ankle injury since week 9. Bucks return home after a 1-1 road trip. They're facing the Warriors for the first time this season. Golden State comes out hot, but the Bucks shut it down real quick. Pat Connaughton drives the lane for the lead. Then it's Bobby Buckets from the corner, 3 of his 25 on the night. That gives some cushion to the lead. Giannis once again just doing it all. Drops 30 with 12 boards as the Bucks beat the Warriors 128-111. In boys hockey, it's a Big 8 showdown. Top 2 teams facing off. Undefeated Middleton hosting Verona, and the Wildcats waste no time. Jack Marski takes a shot off the rebound. He buries down low. Verona's on the board just 30 seconds in. He scored twice tonight. Then it's all defense. The Wildcats have a couple chances on the power play, but Cam Haynes locks it down between the pipes. And of course, this one is far from over. Verona goes on to win it in double OT on the goal by Lars Bratzman. 3-2 the final. We'll be right back.
When Mark was hit by a distracted driver, he knew to call Hupy and Abraham.
Hupy and Abraham proved to me that they meant business, that they were definitely on my side.
Call a law firm that goes beyond to get you every dollar you deserve.
Call Hupy and Abraham. They mean business.
Call 800-800-5678. Hupy and Abraham. Right now.
There's no fee unless they win your case.
And I don't want the world to see me, 'cause I don't think that they'd understand when everything's made to be broken. I just want you to know I am. I just want you to know I am.
Never have I ever put literally every single item in our store on sale, even the items that never go on sale. Every item?
Join us now through December 24th for our never on sale sale. Only at Rogers and Hollins.
Planning a remodel? Don't toss your cabinets, furniture, and appliances. Donate to Habitat Restore. Your items stay out of landfills while proceeds create housing solutions for hardworking families. Build a stronger community with Habitat Restore of Dane County.
Special report. Spectrum just launched Spectrum One, where Spectrum Internet, advanced Wi-Fi, and unlimited mobile come together to keep you seamlessly connected wherever you are!
Switch to Spectrum One and get 300 megabit internet for $49.99 a month, plus free advanced Wi-Fi and one free line of unlimited mobile with no contract. Call 1-833-743-4999.
The Coopers here just got Spectrum One. Why did you switch?
Because Spectrum Internet delivers the fastest download speeds in the nation.
And the fastest Wi-Fi speeds.
Look, I can stream Spectrum News across all our devices.
And the advanced Wi-Fi has enhanced security and privacy features that automatically block online threats, keeping our family and devices safe and secure.
How reliable is Spectrum Mobile?
It's a super reliable service coast to coast.
And it includes nationwide 5G.
Switch to Spectrum One and get 300 megabit internet for $49.99 a month, plus free advanced Wi-Fi and one free line of unlimited mobile with talk, text, and data. Call 1-833-743-4999 or visit a Spectrum store today.
Join me in the 608 weekdays on News 3 Now this morning.
You're watching News 3 Now at 10.
And Julian rejoins us. Final check of the forecast.
Well, it's going to be something to pay attention to over the next 24 hours, especially as some areas could be seeing ice, many areas could be seeing rain. For us, it's mainly going to be rain, but we could start to see that mixing coming into our Wednesday nights, which will finally bring in some snow for all the snow lovers to the area. By the time we get to our Thursday, mainly for Thursday afternoon into Thursday night. Friday, we could see a couple of flurries, but it is going to get cold. And by cold, I mean teens during the day and single digits at night heading into next week. Good news is those who celebrate Hanukkah, it's going to be rather dry, but still on the colder side. But we just got to get through the messy conditions of the next few days.
All right, Julian, thank you very much. And thanks for joining us for News 3 Now at 10.
Do something good, and we'll see you back here tomorrow.